Welcome to the New York Outlook for Friday, the 8th of March 2024. Starting off with the economic calendar. Today's a NFP day, and thus it's a significant trade for the news event that we shouldn't have any open trades during the news event. Rather, we should wait for the news to be released first and then try and fade the move accordingly. Um, having said that, I think what is important is understanding our daily range for today, but we can go through that a bit later in the video. Let's start off with the daily chart, and what we do know is that we've had five consecutive bullish close days, and thus we're anticipating that today will be a bearish day. From a 4H perspective, what we do understand here is that our bearish market structure didn't hold for very long, and now we're back. We've got another change of character, and what that essentially means is that we're in a pro-trend unconfirmed scenario once again, and thus we need to tread carefully in terms of how we trade. Any trade ideas must be backed by a pro-trend previously confirmed. Must be backed by a 4H OB. There must be a substructure validated substructure level to target and internal range liquidity. In terms of where we are right now, you can see we're still within this pro-trend previously confirmed OB, and the current candle, which is this one right here, will close one after the New York session. So the NFP news will be contained within this candle, and provided that we can enter between 3:30 and 4, then any trades are valid. And then obviously if this candle is a bullish close candle, it will invalidate any short trade ideas, because we need to wait for backing to support why shorts make sense. Then from a 5-minute perspective, what we can understand here is that London put in a high of the day. So in my New York Outlook, I mentioned that I was waiting for Frankfurt high of the day, and then once we had that Frankfurt high of the day, we could consider if London validates the Frankfurt high of the day, and then consider a short position temporarily. However, that didn't really materialize. Instead, we took the Asia low and then we took the Asia high. And in terms of Asia range liquidity, we do have yesterday's Asia range liquidity, but that is quite far away, and given the scenario changes, might not, or is unlikely to materialize today. Then from a New York session, what we need is, there are two options in my opinion. There's one where the London high of the day is validated, and that essentially will mean that New York news is positive for the USD, supporting shorts of GBPUSD, but that is all dependent on what the release is. And then if the release is indeed positive for the USD, then we can assume that the London high of the day will hold. As you can see, we did have a change of character to validate this leg. So then we can consider how we're going to position ourselves, and that's where the daily range comes in. So on the spreadsheet right here, I've got March's average daily range, which is 59 pips, and 70% of that is 42 pips. So given that data, what we can do is try and find a 42 pip level, which is in and around this area, and because this is significant trade for the news, provided that all the news events are positive, we can potentially try and position ourselves such that we're able to at least reach a 1 to 2 by the time of the full ADR. Obviously, if the NFP results in full ADR, which is 42 pips, sorry, not 42, 59 pips, then that would invalidate any shorts. In addition, if we wick the substructure low right here, that will also invalidate short positions. It's only valid if we can get into a short prior to this level being taken out. So if that all goes to plan and New York is positive news, then we can try and position ourselves at one of these. So 7.7, I like to add up 2 pips stops, so about 10 pips. And then obviously you can see 1 to 10 is achievable. However, if the news release comes out positive and we're able to position ourselves such that we can get into a 1 to 2 by this point, then I take it just because of the nature of the news being that it is so significant, and that price will obviously move quite quickly and not necessarily pull back sufficiently to enable us to get into a 1 to 3 position. So that's one option where the London high of the day is validated. The other option is that New York puts in a new high of the day, and then provided again that the New York news is positive, then we can try and validate the New York news event and then try and get into a 1 to 3 or 1 to 2 position. Again, because of the significance of the event, provided that a 1 to 2 is achievable by this point, it does make sense to ensure that we get to an entry, because on a red folder news event it's likely that the full daily range will be achieved. So we'll monitor those two elements quite closely. 3:30 p.m. is a key focus time which I'll set an alarm for, and then yeah, we'll evaluate according to the two scenarios that I just explained right now. So just a quick summary: we can only short because of the daily bearish bias. We can short up until the point that this 4H OB is body broken. At the moment it's just wicked right there. So once the body closure of this candle is confirmed, then obviously shorts are invalidated, and there isn't really anything to the left just above this to support why it would make sense. Also, PA from here is related to a completely different leg, and we can't say it's really associated with the pro trend previously confirmed given how far back it is. So for that reason, short will be invalidated. Longs are invalid because we took out substructure high right there. So in the event that New York puts in a high of the day, or in the event that the USD news is all negative, supporting further longs, then we'd pretty much be done trading for the day. Other than that, I hope you have a good New York session, and we'll chat again for the end of day review.